One.
I'm weak.
501 Regent Street. Okay, well, my name's Gareth and I'm the, I guess, creative director at Pointerfootwear, which is a new London-based footwear brand, started 2.5 years ago. It's myself and a girl called Rose Schulz, who pretty much do everything from marketing, design, ad campaigns, down to, we've got 2 people working with us who are the heads of production, and that is it. Being able to walk into a shoe shop and buy a pair of shoes and be like, you know, and get something that's, you know, with some thought into it, which isn't a full-blown marketing ploy to be like, this is the coolest, hippest new thing. If you don't have this, you're going to die without it. Like, for me, it was more of like, you know, you've bought a pair of shoes and you're on your way home and you look and you're on the tube and you're looking at this in an art book and you're actually like, oh, there's actually, you know, substance and thought in this brand. It's not just done because it's the cool thing to do. It's done with some thought, and for me that was a very key aspect. What Rose and I are trying to do, whether it's working or not is yet to be seen, but defining, you know, what the product is and what Pointer is defined as a line, you know, that's really, really important. It's like almost, this is it. This is like creating a brand, you know, brand heritage or culture or whatever you want to, however you want to label it. For us, that's really, you know, really, really important. Which we're really lucky. I know it might be a lot of hard work at times, but I'm really into that things don't get diluted and polluted. That you come up with an initial concept and you have the willpower, or you know, you have the means to the ends to drive that product right the way through, and then, you know, 14, 15 months later, walk past, you know, a store on Oxford Street or Carnaby Street or whatever, and actually see like, oh yeah, I remember doing that, and you know, for me that's more rewarding than pretty much anything else right now in my life, to be honest with you. In essence, it's a vulcanized product. It's really lo-fi. It's 2 fabrics, you know, that's all. With Pointer, everything's always about working with 2 fabrics, and, you know, seeing how really heavy canvas works with suede and things like that, and you know, just kind of trying to do a bit something which is classic but isn't, you know, overkilled or done to death. Especially with lasts, you know, I think it's buying lasts, you know, and defining, you know, taking all that time and all that effort into investing in you know, and money into lasts. I think it is a real key thing, because traditionally, like, we own 3 lasts, and those are the 3 lasts that Pointer is always going to produce product from now until, you know, the next 15 years probably. And for me, it was really key that, you know, to be able to design a product or produce a product, more importantly, that 1 is a really good standard, which 2, which is value for money, which 3, which is slightly understated. It's very easy to take a basic product and slam loads of stuff onto it, but in essence, that's just like, you know, it's like wearing makeup. Yeah, totally. Where for me and Rose especially, it takes for us to, you know, to try and come up with something which is classic, which is almost timeless, even though you might look at it and it might be, you know, really clean, simple design lines, but in essence, or not in essence, that is much harder than taking, you know, XYZ shoe and, you know, changing the fabric on it or putting another colorway or using, you know, from a low top into a high top. It's designing completely new, which you try as hard as possible that it is not a reference to anything else. You can look at a piece of product, one single shoe and 1 colorway, and see another, you know, see another style and another, you know, on a different last, but it still works. You know that product relates to each other. That's in that line. So almost like looking at design not from a single last or a single colorway point of view, but looking at it as an overall line, that it all has to tie together. And that's how Rose and I look at Pointer, that it all has to relate to each other. The art book has to relate to the packaging, has to relate to the way it's marketed, has to relate to the stores it's being sold in, you know, has to relate to why we've got, you know, zigzag stitching on, you know, the back strap of a shoe. It doesn't need to have luminous pink tie-dye on it. You know, it's just, well, that's what I think. It's just, that's what I'm about, trying to make product that's good product, whether it had any label on it, you know. That's really key in everything that Rose and I do. And then of course, like what we discussed about print work, which taking things which aren't traditionally used, you know, in a vulcanized lo-fi product like houndstooth and things like that, and working them into that whole kind of aesthetic of what pointer is.